him up in a trade from the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was 6-11 pitching with the Pirates, and Liriano has been a nice addition to this ball club. He'll make the start tonight against the Baltimore Orioles. For Liriano, it'll be his 9th career start against Baltimore. And here's the starting lineup for Buck Showalter's Orioles. Adam Jones right at the top of the lineup. He'll be a tough challenge for Liriano. Jones has hit 3 career home runs against the Blue Jays lefty. And then down in the 7th spot, J.J. Hardy's got a mini 3-game hit streak. 6 for 11 for Hardy. He had a double in last night's game and scored the only Oriole run. Tonight, Francisco Liriano continuing to be a steady stream of good starting pitching for the Blue Jays.
A lot of firepower in that Baltimore Oriole lineup, so you got to be on your game. Francisco Liriano returned to the Blue Jays rotation on September the 12th and has been pitching his best baseball since coming over in that trade with the Pirates. Liriano's 2-2 at a .335 earned run average in 9 games, including those 7 starts. He has picked up his game lately. He's pitched at least 6 innings in each of his last 3 outings, allowing just 2 earned runs or fewer in each of them. He's going to need a big one tonight against the Orioles.
Orioles lost 5-1 last night. They managed just 8 hits. Aaron Sanchez picking up his 14th win of the season. Liriano is set. Here's the first pitch of the game. It's down and in for ball 1, and we are underway. The roof is open. It's 21 degrees, and it's kind of a breezy night. Banners in center field are being blown around a bit in the outfield. You can see the roof is open. They still have the portion over the home plate stands just in case the storms might pick up. But there you see the breezy conditions here at Rogers Center to start this game.
Feels like fall, doesn't it? It feels like playoff baseball.
1-1 pitch hit into center. Pilar coming in a couple of steps. He'll get there. 1 away. Well, Liriano, he's got a good defensive ball club behind him. Ezekiel Carrera is in left field. Kevin Pilar and Jose Bautista center and right. Josh Donaldson and Troy Tulowitzki both made fine defensive plays in last night's game. Ryan Goins gets the start at second. Encarnacion's at first. Russell Martin continues to do the catching for his former Pirate teammate, Francisco Liriano.
Ryan's 33rd start at second base and his first start at second since September 11th. He did that against the Boston Red Sox, superior defender. And with Liriano, you're going to get your share of ground ball outs because his ball moves so much.
Liriano gets ahead of Chris Davis. Liriano started the season, as we mentioned, with the Pirates. He went 6-11, and one of the problems he had while pitching in Pittsburgh was he had 4 different catchers. Because of injuries and lack of production, they tried to mix things up, and now he is reunited with his former teammate Russell Martin, and I think Martin brings out the best in Liriano.
So I went to Russell today and I said, what's been up with Francisco Liriano? Why has he been pitching so well? And he says he's got a ton of confidence right now.
There's a fly ball to left. Carrera coming in. He gets there, and Davis is retired. 2 fly ball outs.
And confidence, I think, breeds being aggressive. And when you're aggressive like Liriano has, especially first pitch strikes, we talked about that in the opening, 34 of them first pitch strikes in his last 2 starts. He can then use his great stuff to expand the strike zone. And he's been great. 6 innings, at least 6 innings in his last 3 starts. 2 earned runs or fewer in each one of those.
Blue Jays have gotten tremendous pitching all season long. In fact, they lead the American League in pitching coming into this ball game. This is Manny Machado, and there's a first pitch strike with the breaking ball. Machado last night 0 for 4. Pat, you and I have been around the game a long time. Isn't it interesting how just the confidence level can turn a season around for a player?
I asked him, I said, so was he not confident before? And he said, no, he's confident. He's been pitching a long time. Look at that off-speed pitch. But he's familiar with his teammates. He's familiar with his surroundings. He's very confident with this club. He likes this club. He loves Toronto. And he loves pitching to Russell Martin.
That's lined into the seats down the right side.
And when you have that type of confidence, you just go out there and you just think about making pitches. You can become a little bit more aggressive. And the last thing Russell said is Francisco's got great stuff. This ball moves all over the strike zone.
High fastball at 94. Liriano is 32 years old. This is his 11th season in the major leagues. He started his big league career in Minnesota with the Twins. Tonight he's making his 256th career start. So he has a lot of experience.
He's been there, done that. He has pitched in the playoffs. He knows the pressure-packed baseball of September.
What a slider. 87 miles an hour, and he strikes out Machado. No problem in the first for Francisco Liriano. Great starting pitching, and once again Liriano retires the side in order. That's what happened last night. Sanchez struck out the top three in the Orioles lineup, and then the Blue Jays scored two in the bottom of the first. Take a look at the lineup for John Gibbons' Blue Jays. Russell Martin against the Orioles starter Chris Tillman, 6 for 12 with 3 doubles and an RBI. Russell is batting in the 5th spot, and then Kevin Pillar, he too has put up good numbers against Tillman, 8 for 22 with 3 career home runs and 5 RBIs. It's tough to find a hitter in the Blue Jays lineup that has not hit well against Chris Tillman.
They've had success against Tillman. He has a very inflated earned run average against the Blue Jays. He's coming off his worst start of the season, lasting just 5 outs against the Boston Red Sox. That was his season low in terms of innings pitched, just an inning and 2/3 for his career. He's 5-10 in 23 outings versus the Blue Jays. He's 1-0 this year in 3 starts against the Jays.
Ezequiel Carrera, he was a spark in last night's game. He walked to start the ball game and then scored on Josh Donaldson's first inning home run. Then Carrera went deep himself in the 3rd inning and added an RBI single in the 5th.
I asked him today around the batting cage. I said, "You that strong to go the opposite field for a home run?" He goes, "Oh yeah, bat speed, bat speed." That's what he kept saying, bat speed. Yeah, he showed it off, going the other way with that home run.
Takes one inside for ball 3. It's 3-0. He walked to start the game last night, and then Josh Donaldson connected for his 37th home run. Taking all the way.
Well, he says he's got bat speed. Well, you tell me if he's got bat speed. This pitch is away. Clobbers at the left field, opposite, over the boys in the bullpen for a home run. I would say he'd have some bat speed on that swing.
That bat flew through that zone, and in his first at bat, he hit a ball home run distance, but foul down the left field line. It was kind of a red flag to us that the ball was carrying, and he connected. 3-2 pitch. Bounced on the ground. Tillman off the mound. He'll flip quickly to Davis, and he couldn't hang on. So Carrera, hustling out of the box, put pressure on Chris Tillman. He tried to shovel it to Chris Davis. He hit him right in the glove, but Davis couldn't hang on.
Right in the middle of his body. If it was low or if it was high, I think Chris Davis would have been able to reach for it and make the out. Tillman gets over there, catches, and watch when he shovels it right in the breadbasket of Chris Davis, and it handcuffs him. Davis, for a big man, has got some great hands, but he can't handle that one.
He's charged with his 10th error of the season, and he didn't have much of a chance to make a play on that one. So Carrera once again is aboard, and Chris Tillman will work with nobody out and a man at first to Josh Donaldson. Donaldson 8 for 32 against Tillman with a home run.
Great production, obviously. Great on base percentage. And he's looking like he's starting to get on an offensive roll again.
Josh has a .407 on base percentage. That's the best on base percentage of his career.
Well, he's using the whole field, hitting the ball to right center and left center. And when you use the whole field and you have great at bats, you don't know where to play him. How about that by the Orioles bunching their outfielders? Look how close they are in left center and right center.
And look how straight away the entire defense is, something you don't see very often. Donaldson hits it in the air to left. Grimo broke back, and then he comes in. Donaldson hit that one toward the end of the bat. One away. Take a look at the rest of the Oriole defense. It's a team that has committed 77 errors tonight. It's Rimo, Jones, and Trumbo in the outfield from left to right. Manny Machado committed his 13th error of the season last night on a bad throw. Hardy and Scope up the middle. Davis charged with his 10th error of the season at first, and Matt Wieters does the catching for Chris Tillman.
DJ Hardy's as steady as they come. He's played the third most games at shortstop in Orioles histories, and he can hit too since 2011. Second among major league shortstops with 103 home runs.
Ball gets away from Davis. Carrera's going to make the turn. He's headed for third. Davis has got a strong arm, but it's over Davis. Tillman there to back it up. Boy, Carrera makes things happen, doesn't he?
That's what happens with speed on the diamond. And Carrera, the little spark plug, that's what John Gibbons calls him. Every time he starts him, he does something to spark this team, and he's done it already here in the first inning. Error by the first baseman Chris Davis, and now the second error of the season for Chris Tillman, the pitcher, as he throws it down the right field line. High throw by Davis, and Carrera can get into third base with just one out. Wild throw from Tillman allows Carrera to do this.
Carrera took one look over his right shoulder and headed for third. Now he's at third base with just one out for Edwin Encarnacion. Tillman with the error. That's the 13th error the Orioles pitchers have committed this season.
They came into this game tied for first in the American League in fielding percentage.
High and deep to center. Jones back at the track. He's going to make the catch, but Carrera tags at third. He'll come in to score the first run of the ball game. RBI number 127 for Double E.
And he just missed that one. Just like Josh Donaldson got it off the end of the bat. It looked like Edwin got that one just off the end of the bat. Tillman's got a little cutter that works. That's his advantage there to the righties if he gets it in a good spot. Edwin muscled that one deep to center field.
Carrera scoring another run in his first at bat. Took advantage of some shaky defense by the O's. Jose Bautista jumps back from an inside pitch. Curveball. Bautista has hit 3 career home runs against Tillman. Jose had his streak of 33 consecutive games reaching base snapped last night. Jose was 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Liriano retired the side in order, and he's been staked to an early lead. High changeup. Bautista didn't like that call, and he expresses his thoughts to Lance Barksdale. Gets back in the box quickly.
Thought it might have been up or in. Tillman's got everything, every pitch that you need. Been battling some shoulder problems.
Bautista's called out on strikes. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays take advantage of some shaky defense. Edwin Encarnacion with the sac fly. The Jays have a 1-0 lead for Liriano.
Pick up your 2017 season ticket memberships. Season ticket member benefits include access to season ticket member exclusive events and enrollment in My Blue Jays member program. Visit bluejays.com/season tickets. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. Another nice crowd on hand here as the season winds down, and there's some great Blue Jay fans in attendance coming all the way up from London. Mark Trumbo takes the first pitch ball from Liriano. Trumbo has a pair of home runs against Liriano in his career. One nothing Blue Jays. Now it's 3-0. Trey Mancini, the rookie, is on deck.
You got to bet he's swinging 3-0.
There's a strike.
Like it. He had 45 home runs. You got to figure he's going to be swinging.
Yeah, you got a flashing green light when you hit 45 home runs. Comes back with a breaking ball, 3-1. There's that confidence factor you were talking about.
If he's got confidence in that slider to throw it 3-1, he's going to have a good night. Gets that thing working, then his fastball command to get ahead early and then use the changeup down and away. That's when he can throw up those zeros.
Comes back with a good fastball.
His strike percentage on low off-speed pitches has gone up this September, and I think that's a big reason why that he has put together 3 very good starts for the Blue Jays. When you can throw breaking balls down in the strike zone, it's up to 74% of the time he's throwing that breaking ball for strikes like that.
How about that? He was behind a 3-0. He comes back to strike out Mark Trumbo. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Thank you very much, Jamie. The Seattle Mariners beat Houston earlier this afternoon 12-4. So the Mariners inching closer to that second wild card spot. Says Trey Mancini goes after that pitch and fouls it into the seats out of play. Mancini was just called up on the 18th of September, and he became the third player in Major League history to homer in each of his first 3 Major League starts. Big numbers at Norfolk. Hit 280 in AAA for the Orioles.
Yeah, that wasn't a typo. 4 games and 3 home runs.
Mancini strikes out. Martin goes to first to complete the strikeout. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Liriano. You can see the roof moving to the closed position, obviously indicating weather is about to hit Toronto, so the roof's sliding closed.
I asked some of the guys around the batting cage today, I said, do you guys have any input on if they open it or close it? And they said no, but on 4 o'clock starts we do.
Matt Waiters flies out to Kevin Pillar. Another quick inning for Liriano. A couple of strikeouts. 6 up, 6 down so far.
Las Vegas on WestJet. Daily nonstop flights and great vacation deals. Remember to book your Vegas getaway today at westjet.com/Vegas or call your travel agent.
Another great turnout at the WestJet flight deck. That is the hottest spot in Toronto right now. Come on out and watch the Blue Jays take on the Orioles for one more game. That'll be tomorrow, and then you can make your postseason plans, hopefully. Blue Jays have a 2-game advantage over the Orioles for the top spot in the wild card race. Seattle won this afternoon. They are a game and a half behind Baltimore for that second wild card spot. Detroit a game back.
Yeah, they'd have to jump over Detroit. It's looking more and more like there might be 3 teams for 1 spot.
The beauty of that second wild card.
Love it.
Russell Martin. 2-0 count to Martin. Tillman has had problems with Martin. Russell has not hit a home run against Tillman, but he's 6 for 12.
More off-speed pitch. Looks like from Tillman. We told you he's been battling a shoulder bursitis problem where he only threw an inning and 2/3 in his last start against the Boston Red Sox. 5 2/3 innings in the start before that. Overall, those 16 wins.
Ground ball to the hole. J.J. Hardy has a very strong, accurate arm. He throws out Russell Martin for the first out in the bottom of the second.
That's why we highlight him in the defense. Very steady. 111 start this season at shortstop. Chris Tillman Doesn't look like he's throwing very hard. He's throwing a lot of off-speed pitches. I think Blue Jays are going to need to key in on that.
Tillman has tied his career high with 16 wins this season. He also had a 16-win season for the Orioles in 2013. He was an all-star in 2013.
He keeps his team in ball games every single time he takes the mound. The team, the Orioles, are 21-8 in games that he starts this year.
That's a curveball that got away from Tillman to Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki, a couple of hits in last night's game. Pair of doubles. He has 19 doubles. Both of those doubles went to right field. Well, he is getting hot at the right time. Last 12 home games, he's hit .340.
Extra base hits and RBIs out of your shortstop's position. That's an swing. You mentioned the doubles that he hit last night, 2 doubles down the right field line. So I said, I wonder where Mark Trumbo, the right fielder's playing tonight. Look at him. He has moved over to the right field line to try and cover up the line. How about the difference between Tulowitzki, where the defense plays in the outfield, and Donaldson that we showed in the first inning?
Breaking ball, the appeal down to Angel Hernandez, and he said no swing. Well, you know, Buck Showalter is as old school as it gets, but he will take that analytical information in the scouting reports and he'll challenge his analytical department. Prove to me how it can help the Orioles win, and I'm in. So they have moved the defense around.
And he leans on Wayne Kirby. That's Curb right there. He is in charge of the outfielders, and he really works his outfielders every day. Gets them on the other end of that fungo, hits some fly balls, hits some ground balls. He makes them throw to bases. He really works his outfielders, and there are some good outfielders here in Baltimore.
Full count to Tulowitzki. Breaking ball. He hooks it down the left field line. Up against the wall. Tulo's headed for second. Boy, he crossed up the defense there. And we're playing him around to right, and he hooks it off the wall in left.
Stick that in your analytics right there. Down the right field line last night, down the left field line tonight. It's another breaking ball from Tillman. Tulowitzki goes down and hooks it to left field. No chance for Rimo, the left fielder. By the time he runs it down, another extra base hit for Tulowitzki.
20 doubles on the season for Tulo. He also has hit 24 home runs. He's in scoring position for Michael Saunders. Saunders was 0 for 3 in a game last night.
Michael's got 57 RBIs, as you can see right there. That's tied his career high. He did that in the 3rd inning on Monday when he drove in a run. Trying to get that career high right now. A little bit late on that fastball.
Michael's hitting under 200 with runners in scoring position. But this season against Baltimore, he carries a .414 average into this ball game. He's also hit 7 home runs against the Orioles in 16 games. He had that 3-homer game on the 17th of June at Baltimore. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. He was 3 for 5 in that game. 0-2 count. You'll remember that game in June. He hit a ball up against the wall and left, making a bid for his 4th home run.
What do you think? 5 feet? 5 more feet and he would have had a 4-homer game? Those are one of those days where you're just locked in, and everything that you see coming up there, you have a great swing on. He had liftoff working that night.
Off the plate inside. Michael Saunders against Chris Tillman with Tulowitzki at second. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead thanks to Edwin Encarnacion. A sac fly in the first. Tillman was originally a second-round draft pick of the Seattle Mariners in 2006. Base hit, left field. Willie Rivera's going to stop him. Raimel got to the ball quickly. Rivera's first instinct was to send Tulowitzki, and then Raimel got to the ball very quickly. He's got a much stronger arm than Michael Bourne, who played in left field last night.
One of the keys for a third base coach is you line yourself up so you can see the runner and the outfielder. And if the outfielder gets to the ball before the runner gets to the bag, that's a key to hold him up. And you can see from that shot right there, Luis Rivera has lined himself up to see both the runner and the fielder. And the fielder had the ball before Troy got to the bag, so that's a key for him to say, let's throw the stop sign up.
First and third, Saunders with the single to left. Tulowitzki at third, and Kevin Pillar at the plate. Pillar's got good numbers against Tillman. He's 8 for 22 with 3 home runs against Chris Tillman. Not a bad idea. Tried to bunt it. I think he was indecisive as to where he wanted to bunt it.
I think if he bunts it to second base towards the second baseman, Chris Davis, the first baseman, has to hold the runner on base. You can see Jonathan Scope, the second baseman, a little bit closer to the bag in double play depth. If he bunts it into that dead area between first and second, Blue Jays, the least they're going to get is a run.
Tillman jumps ahead 0-2. Well, now Pillar's mindset has to be hitting the ball on the right side of the diamond. In the air, on the ground, doesn't make any difference.
Well, know that Tillman's going to try and get you to chase something out of the strike zone. That's the first thing he's going to do.
And that's exactly what he did.
So if you know that as a hitter, focus, in the strike zone, just in the middle of the strike zone, and then take everything else. Now after that high fastball, does he go breaking ball here?
Cutter hit to right. Trumbo's got a strong arm. Tulowitzki's tagging. Here's the throw to the plate. It's cut off. Tulowitzki comes in to score. Another good at bat for Pillar. Second sac fly of the ball game. Trumbo's got a strong arm, but the throw was a little offline. Chris Davis cut it and tried to relay it quickly to Wieters, but not in time.
10 outfield assists for Mark Trumbo, and if that ball was on line just a little bit more, they had a shot at getting the runner. Pillar will pick up his 50th RBI on that sacrifice fly.
Ryan Goins starting at second base tonight. He goes after the first pitch, bounces it to Hardy. It's short. That ends the inning, but the Blue Jays add a second run. Another sac fly. Kevin Pillar this time drives it in, his 50th RBI. 2-0 Blue Jays.
Yankees tour have joined us here from all over Canada tonight. Welcome, everybody. Don't forget to share your cheer on the Blue Jays fan wall at rogerscelebrates.com. Buck.
Welcome. Great to have you here. You can see the Canada's team signs being held up in the box, and that was Kelly Gruber. Part of the celebration tonight. Good to see Gruber back here at Rogers Center. Francisco Liriano pounds that fastball in there for a strike to J.J. Hardy. Hardy has a 3-game hit streak and 6 for his last 11. Hardy missed some time early in the season with a fractured foot. This is a high fly ball to right. Bautista's got a bead on it, waiting for it to come down, and it does. Francisco Liriano, we mentioned he started the season with the Pirates. He was 6-11 while pitching in Pittsburgh, but since he's joined the Blue Jays, things have turned around for him.
The Jays had a plan. You ignore the numbers that he had with Pittsburgh because he's, like you said, worked with 4 different catchers. Now he's working with his old friend Russell Martin, and his ERA is outstanding. His batting average against has been better. He's been jumping ahead like that and then using his off-speed pitches to finish things off. Confidence.
Martin's keeping an eye on the batter Jonathan Scope. Fastball upstairs, and Liriano is overpowering the Orioles right now. 0-2. I tell you what, the Liriano trade, it took place while the Blue Jays were in Houston. And I can remember the excitement, first from Russell Martin and then from Jason Grilli, 2 former teammates of Liriano. And they said, man, you're going to love this guy. There's a hot shot to third. Donaldson takes his time. 2 away.
And what else did he say? He goes, I know how to work with him. I'm going to get him right. I know his numbers are a little down with the Pittsburgh Pirates, but I know how to use him. And he's had a great month of September. I think the 6-man rotation was a good thing also for Liriano.
Well, I think it was good for all of the starters. There you see Grilli, teammates of Liriano. He said, man, this is a great dude. He's going to fit right into this clubhouse. And boy, has he ever.
Well, they moved him into the pen for a couple of outings. Coming out of the pen, he can stretch out some of his starts. He was able to catch his breath, and his stuff has been pretty crisp.
Well, and Raimo, it's one off the end of the back. Well, you mentioned the Blue Jays have done a great job with their pitching staff all season long, but look what they've done. Their rotation in September, the ERA 133. The Angels are second at 264. And that is so significant. Here we are at the end of the season. The Blue Jays pitchers are pitching better, and you've got to believe that that 6-man rotation has something to do with that. Ground ball off the end of the bat. Tulowitzki near the bag at second in time. First time through the order. Liriano has 3 strikeouts. 9 up, 9 down.
2017 20 and 12 game packs will go on sale October 4th at 10 a.m. Circle that date on your calendars. It includes enrollment in My Blue Jays, so visit bluejays.com/game packs for more details.
Great opportunity to check out the schedule and make sure you pick out your favorite teams when they visit Rogers Center and get your tickets for next season. They're going to be hard to come by again. The Blue Jays are over 3 million this season. They've done a terrific job of turning out in support of this ball club. And we want to congratulate the fans for their support. It has been a terrific season.
The only team in the American League to average over 40,000 for their home schedule. How about that? Good job, fans.
Go ahead, Zeke, do it all. Base hit for Carrera. A leadoff single here in the third.
Swing for the fences and save during the DIY Expert Sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
Blue Jays have a 2-0 lead over Baltimore. This is the second game of a 3-game series that'll wrap up the home portion of the regular season schedule. Josh Donaldson hit one off the end of the bat. He flied out the left field his first time up. Carrera takes off. Got a good jump. He's in there safely. And he is called out for coming off the base. Boy, he had a full head of steam and he slid right over the bag. And as we see all middle infielders now, they keep the glove on the base runner, and that momentum took him right off second.
I think Carrera knows that he was off the bag because he's coming off the field. Got a great jump on Tillman. Very deliberate to the plate. There's the aggressive slide, and he's on. He's on.
He's off. Jonathan Scope just keeps the glove on Carrera. He had so much momentum. He goes right over the bag and tries to keep that foot on the base, but he just couldn't extend far enough. And Scope never took the glove off his leg. Donaldson shoots this one into right. This is big trouble. Donaldson is headed around first. He'll go to second. He'll check in there with a stand-up double. Double number 32 for Donaldson.
Oh, that caught stealing hurts now. That's a run for the Blue Jays. But you got to make up for it somehow. Josh Donaldson has been hitting the ball all over the place. That's why his numbers have been climbing over the last week or so in the big leagues. He has now played in 7 games and he has been on base 17 times. Walks, hit batters, errors, and now just double into the corner.
For Donaldson, we mentioned that's his 32nd double. He's got 5 triples and 37 home runs. Boy, the middle of this order has really stepped it up here in the last 2 weeks of September. And Encarnacion uncharacteristically swung at a ball.
He made up his mind that he was going to swing on that one. Saw it and then it just rode right up and in on him.
Edwin had a sac fly in the first. He's now driven in 127 runs for the season. Ground ball to short. Donaldson will retreat to second. Hardy throws out Encarnacion.
You know what I think Tillman wants you to do? He's going to throw you a lot of soft stuff, and he's going to make you turn on that ball and just hit it into the ground. You can't muscle up against Chris Tillman. You have to have the type of swing that we saw from Josh Donaldson. Breaking ball away and just go right with it.
Hitters always checking in with Brooke Jacoby and Eric Owens after they have at bats, just to make sure that they check all the boxes. Jose Bautista called out on strikes his first time up. Ball and a strike now to Jose. Off the plate. Bautista and Tulowitzki in the month of September have really stepped it up with runners in scoring position. They've combined to hit .359 with runners in scoring position in September. The lineup has just gotten longer and longer as everybody is really starting to swing the bats well.
Veterans coming up in big situations for the season. Jose's hit over 300 with runners in scoring position.
When you talk to the veterans, they talk about, hey, this is the time of the year when you've got to come up with big hits. Bautista takes his strike. Blue Jays have been taking a lot of fastballs over the last couple of weeks, and they're a very good fastball hitting club, but I think they expect the pitchers to throw them a lot of secondary pitches.
They're seeing a lot of breaking balls, so they're surprised when they get a fastball, especially in a fastball count.
Bautista out in front of that off-speed pitch. Might have been a changeup. Matt Waiters didn't like that last pitch. He's going to go talk to Tillman about it. Tillman has the ultimate confidence in Matt Waiters. He literally turns his game over to the catcher. They've been teammates a long time, and he really respects the way Waiters prepares for a ball game.
He does a good job going over the scouting report and finding weaknesses and melding what they get from the advanced people with what they want to use that day.
Bautista takes ball 4 high. It's the first walk issued by Tillman tonight. Well, that's the beauty of this Blue Jays lineup. You pitch around one tough out, you have to deal with another. Russell Martin. Russell's got 74 RBIs this season. He grounded out to short his first time up.
Come up with some big hits for the Jays. That's why they have him hitting in that number 5 spot. Russell will see his share of pitches. He really likes to work over that pitcher. He sees 4 pitches per plate appearance, so he has a pretty good idea as he gets into that at bat what they're going to try and do to him.
Ground ball. Hardy will flip to second for the force out. The inning is over. The Blue Jays get a pair of hits. They strand a pair of base runners, but we'll go to the 4th, and they have a 2-0 lead. And here comes the ultimate cleanup crew, brought to you by Home Hardware's exclusive line of the ultimate hard-hitting and tough-on-grime cleaning products.
Joe B. Jeannie, this is the latest he has pitched in a season in his professional career. So I asked him how he's doing physically and overall. Has he been pleased with his performance this season? Biagini told me that this training staff, with the help of the many resources available to him, has done a great job in helping him stay in shape and keeping him healthy. Fatigue hasn't set in. Overall, he's been pretty pleased with his pitching performance, but he did admit at times to being frustrated with his control. Pitching coach Pete Walker has challenged Biagini to figure out what adjustments are the right adjustments to make at a certain time, and what adjustments are the ones you don't want to over-invest in. Lately, he's been challenging himself to slow down, enjoy, and appreciate the team he's on and the situation his team is in, with a shot at a wild card berth. Buck.
Well, Joe had 2 great innings last night at a time when the Blue Jays need some depth in their bullpen with the loss of Joaquin Benoit. Biagini threw 2 innings, allowed just 1 hit, threw 22 pitches in 2 innings. Very efficient.
Next man up. That's basically what John Gibbons was saying today. Hey, next man up is going to fill that void. With Benoit down, it might be Joe. It might be Brett Cecil.
Adam Jones flew out to center field his first time up. 2-0. Liriano has retired all 9 Orioles that have come to the plate so far tonight. He's got 3 strikeouts. They came in order: Machado, Trumbo, and Mancini. Jones gets a base hit to left field. He went upstairs and jumped on that high fastball. That's the first Oriole base runner tonight.
Adam Jones is a free swinger. He is not looking to walk. 2-0. He'll go out of the strike zone every now and then. This one is up. Jones, he's able to get on top of that one. That's his first hit in this series. Check that. That's his second hit. He had an infield hit in last night's 7th inning.
Chris Davis, he flew out to center field. There's a pitch upstairs for a ball. Davis batting .217 for the season. And he's always a threat. 38 home runs.
Got to pitch him tough. Last 12 right here at Rogers Center. He's at 7 home runs.
He's always hit well in this ballpark. He and Adam Jones have enjoyed their time hitting in this ballpark. Jones has 17 home runs. Same for Davis, hitting here at Rogers Center. Davis has hit those 17 home runs in just 48 games. Ground ball, base hit. Shift cost the Blue Jays a single. Back-to-back singles here in the 4th.
A lot has changed in 40 years, but one thing hasn't. Honda, proud fan since 1977, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Top of the 4th inning, Blue Jays have a 2-0 lead, but Orioles have had back-to-back singles to start this inning. Jones and Davis. Now Manny Machado, he struck out on a slider his first time up. That ended the top of the 1st.
Liriano's the type of pitcher, I don't think you can go off the raw numbers when it comes to the shifts, because he's so tough to handle. I think you got to let your eyes tell you what you're going to do. You got a big power hitter, yes, in Chris Davis, but he's not looking to pull Liriano. I think you can play it a little bit more straight up against him.
Well, there's a good changeup. It's 86 miles an hour, but he's got dramatic movement down and away from the right-handed hitters when he throws that change. I agree with you about the defense against left-handed hitters. Now you see it's straight away basically against Machado, and Manny asks for time.
Left-handed hitters against somebody like Liriano, they're going to want to stay on that ball as long as possible, so they're not going to try to go out there and hook off of Liriano. They're going to strike out.
Machado strikes out for a second time. 4 strikeouts for Liriano.
Well, this started the run, if you will, of strikeouts for Liriano. Machado, Trumbo, Mancini, slider, and it gets it. Again, he's thrown the highest off-speed strike percentage in September in all of baseball. 75% of the time he's throwing that slider for a strike, and he gets a hot hitter and a good hitter. And Manny Machado.
Lefties this season against Liriano batting .237. But since he's come to the Blue Jays, coming into this game batting .182. Mark Trumbo struck out. That started the second. Boy, he makes pitches like that. You're not going to have any problems. Trumbo's got to be thinking, really? You gave everybody else something to hit, and you paint the outside corner on me.
Didn't he fall behind 3-0 on Trumbo last time?
Did.
And then came back and got him?
Ressa wanted it inside. It was outside, but Trumbo, all it can do is foul it into the seats. Pat, you and I have played the game. We've been around the game. We've hit against left-handed pitchers like Liriano. I don't honestly remember a pitcher that had this kind of movement on his fastball, slider, and changeup. I mean, he has a dramatic arsenal of weapons.
It's got to be tough to pick the ball up. The way he throws it and the movement that he gets. The way he throws it, short arms. I mean, he's got a very quick arm swing, and he doesn't really get up on top, and he shows you the ball. It's very short, and it's almost like he's throwing it out of his shoulder. Then the next thing, he's got the great movement. So you have a split second to pick up the baseball, and then it's moving all over the place.
You and I were both right-handed hitters, and this is one of those guys you'd say Liriano's not left-handed.
Yeah.
He's not left-handed. His stuff neutralizes the fact that he throws from the left side. 1-2 to Trumbo. Martin gets a glove on it and keeps it close enough to keep the runners at their bases.
You know, the left-handers that have the slow arm swing, and they show you the ball, and then they get on top, and you can see it. Those are the guys who pick the ball up so much faster, and you got a little bit more time to read what's coming in. This guy, you don't have any time to read the pitch.
Now, you almost have to commit to a swing when he lets it go before you ever determine what pitch it is. 2-2. Orioles trailing 2-0, but threatening here in the fourth. Now it's a full count. Trey Mancini, the rookie, is on deck. He was a strikeout victim in the second. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Liriano. Strike 3 call. Trumbo. He goes down on strikes for a second time.
This time looking. I think they crossed him up. Mark Trumbo might have been looking for an off-speed pitch, and Russell Martin and Francisco Liriano cross him up and throw a fastball right on the inside part of the plate. Trumbo had choked up just a little bit, anticipating that, and he can't pull the trigger.
5 strikeouts for Liriano. All of the strikeouts have been Machado, Trumbo, and Mancini. 3, 4, and 5 in the Orioles lineup.
Lots of power. Machado 36 home runs, Trumbo with 45. Mancini's hit 3 in 4 games. He was the Orioles minor league player of the year last year and had a good year this year. Spent some time in AA and in AAA this year. The only reason he's here is because Steve Pearce is on the disabled list.
Had a forearm problem. Mancini with a big cut. Last year in 2 levels, Mancini hit .341 with 21 homers and 89 RBIs. This season he combined in AA and AAA once again and hit .282 with 20 home runs. Got him. First and second, nobody out. Who's in a jam? Liriano strikes out Machado, Trumbo, and Mancini to end the top of the 4th.
One live streaming sports service delivers everything you come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to @That Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. But
thank you very much, Hazel. Lots going on here. Even Australia supports Canada's team. And the Kangaroos going to knock out the Orioles tonight. Blue Jays won last night 5-1. They have a 2-0 lead here as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Troy Tulowitzki hit a double down the left field line on a curveball from Chris Tillman in his first at bat, his 3rd straight double. He had doubles in each of his last 2 at bats in last night's game. Both of those went to right. Boy, oh boy. What can you say about Francisco Liriano? Jones and Davis with singles to start the inning, and then he strikes out Machado, Trumbo, and Trey Mancini. That's not chopped liver there.
Yeah, first inning we were talking about, you know what? He's been there. He's not going to let the moment excite him. He's pitched in big ball games. He didn't get excited.
Boy, that hot shot handcuffed Jonathan Scope. He was playing Tulowitzki to pull, and he hit it right at him, but too hot to handle. Tulowitzki is 2 for 2.
Scope very sure-handed at second base. He's in the shift. Tulo finds him, but it's a short hop bullet right at him. And he's on base for the second time.
4 straight hits for Tulowitzki. Smoke didn't get leather on that baseball. 3 doubles and a single in his last 4 plate appearances. Michael Saunders had a base hit to left field his first time up.
It looked like he might be going that way again after that first pitch from Tillman.
Off the end of the bat. Machado will flip the scope at second, back to first, double play. 2 quick outs on the double play.
This Blue Jays Rogers 4K broadcast is powered by the Samsung 4K SUHD TV.
Well, you better get your Blue Jays gear for the possibility of postseason baseball. The 40th season of Blue Jays baseball, and it is close to being guaranteed that they'll make the postseason. Blue Jays at the start of play have a 2-game lead over the Orioles in the first wild card spot. Kevin Pillar had a sacrifice fly to right field his first time up. Hits this one off the end of the bat. J.J. Hardy in time. Chris Tillman erases that leadoff single with a double play. Only 7 pitches for Tillman. Now we'll go to the top of the 5th. 2-0 Blue Jays. Now time for a Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Cheers to celebrate Canada's team from far and wide, just like Judy from Ottawa, Ontario. Visit RogersCelebrates.com.
Thank you very much, Hazel, and it's a gorgeous evening here. The roof was open at the start of this ball game and has since been closed. Obviously, there's weather in the area. The Blue Jays have a 2-0 lead. Francisco Liriano, boy, what a job he did in the 4th. He gave up back-to-back singles to start the inning and then struck out Machado, Trumbo, and Mancini to strand a pair. We can't really say enough about how well the Blue Jays starters have pitched this season. They came into this game with a .369 earned run average. That leads the American League. And if they keep pitching at that pace, it will be the 4th lowest starters ERA in franchise history.
And coming into spring training, what was everybody talking about?
How are we going to get through this season with the starting pitching we have?
Well, we've got plenty of offense. We can really rake and we can really pick it. Do we have enough starters? Lots of question marks.
Boy, they have really pitched well, and I don't think the baseball world has recognized how talented they are. Let me give you the 4 lowest ERAs for the starters in franchise history. It started in 1985. The best ERA of starters in a season, 3.32. In 91, it was 3.49. In 89, it was 3.65. And this season, it's 3.69.
Those 3 teams, what did they all do?
They all went to the playoffs.
They all went to the playoffs, and the 85 team has the record for most wins in a season.
It's all about pitching, folks. As much as you like to see the long ball and the old saying, chicks dig the long ball, It's about pitching. 3-2 now to the leadoff man, Matt Wieters, the catcher. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, is on deck. Wieters pokes it down the right side. It is slicing foul. You know, the Blue Jays have had a rough start to the month of September, but they've turned things around. In September, they have an 11-13 record. But when you look at the teams they have played against in September, Tampa Bay, New York, Boston, the Angels, Seattle, and Baltimore, they have combined for a .506 winning percentage. And that factors in the Tampa Bay Rays, who have 65 wins. So they have had some tough opponents. Matt Wieters called out on strike 3. Another stretch of strikeouts for Liriano. That's 4 in a row.
The Tampa Bay Rays don't play the Blue Jays like a 65-win team. They came in here and did a number on the Jays. But since that series, they went out on the road and started playing better. They're getting the great pitching. The hitting is starting to come back around. Went to Los Angeles and played well. Went to Seattle, played well, came back home. That was right around that time we talked about September 15th. They have an ERA twice as good as the next guy in
baseball.
In baseball, 133 to 264.
J.J. Hardy hits it past Encarnacion into right. That's the third base hit for the Orioles. All 3 have been singles off Liriano. That extends Hardy's hit streak to 4 straight games.
Pretty good pitch down and away. J.J. Hardy had a double in yesterday's ball game to right center field. That time he picks on the right side of the infield for another hit.
The Blue Jays have won the season series 10-7. They have now won back-to-back season series, first time since 2010 and 2011. They've done that against the Orioles. Blue Jays have won 9 of the last 13 games against Baltimore. 2 of the heavyweights in the AL East, certainly.
And it's a grind. I mean, it is a grind whenever these 2 teams get together. There's home runs. You get plenty of those. It's pitching and defense and home runs when these 2 teams meet. This is game number 18 out of 19 versus this team this year.
The 2 teams have combined to hit 54 home runs in their games this season. Off the plate, 2 balls and a strike to Jonathan Schoop. The Orioles currently in the second wild card spot. They are a game ahead of Detroit, a game and a half ahead of Seattle, who beat Houston earlier this afternoon 12-4. Robinson Cano swinging a red hot bat. He hit his 36th home run of the season. The winning pitcher in that ball game, the Canadian James Paxson, who's throwing the ball very well right now.
Another veteran, Cano, getting it done in September.
3-1 pitch. Now it's 3-2.
Adam Jones was talking about it after the game yesterday. He says we're playing with house money right now. He says we're in first place. We control our destiny. We win, we're going to be in.
Blue Jays are in the same boat. Full count to Schoop with Hardy at first. Ball 4. That's the first walk issued by Liriano, and it comes with 1 out here in the 5th. Here is the up-to-date wild card standing. The Blue Jays have a 2-game advantage over the Orioles. Detroit is a game back as we speak. The Tigers are currently trailing 1-0 and there's a delay in Detroit. Cleveland has a 1-0 lead. Seattle, we mentioned, they have closed to within a game and a half after their win today in Houston. Seattle will go home and finish up the season at home. They'll play a 4-game series against Oakland. Buck Showalter and the Orioles, they will finish up their season in New York against the Yankees. Says Nolan Reimold. Reimold grounded to shortstop in the third. That ended the third inning. Liriano falls behind.
Well, you got Wieters on a strikeout, then a walk, a hit, then a walk, and now some patience being shown from the bottom of the order.
Reimold is batting 9th. Top of the order, Adam Jones would bat next. Ground ball off the end of the bat, foul. Two and two, 1 out. Hardy at second, Scope at first, and Ramos strikes out. Liriano brought his A game into this game tonight.
His fastball's moving everywhere. His changeup's going down and away from righties, and he's spinning a pretty good slider in a good spot. Nolan Reimold, the former Blue Jay, is going to swing over the top of that one. He gets on top of it and just pulls down. He gets a lot of movement. He can get underneath those right-handers' swings.
Liriano has the stuff to work out of jams. The Orioles are 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight, and they're all on strikeouts. Adam Jones, the leadoff man, singled to start the 4th. Davis followed him up with a single, but then Liriano struck out the side. Grounder, Donaldson will have to come in quickly. Bare hands throws not in time. Jones has an infield hit. A little squibber off the end of the bat. Donaldson did everything he could do. He barehanded it through, but Jones beat it out at first.
He had to play deep, respecting the power of Adam Jones at third base, so he had a long way to come. You can see where he's playing. He's getting himself ready to throw. You see him turn his body and grab the ball in one motion and make that play, but it's an infield hit, loading the bases. And this is what we were talking about before. Maybe you don't pull 3 guys over on one side. And Tulowitzki, look at Tulo talking with Louis Rivera, moving everybody around.
And now Goins moves to his right, not so much in a pull mode against Davis. Check, swing, tapper, foul, and that's a great start for Liriano in this at bat.
You know, that's letting your eyes tell you what you're seeing for your defense and what you're seeing from your starting pitcher. Last time up, Chris Davis just flipped the ball over to left field. The defense now, not so much shift. They're starting to straighten out just a little bit.
The Blue Jays have a 2-0 lead. Ball on the strike. Liriano has 8 strikeouts. Chris Davis has struck out 213 times this season. Davis leads the majors in strikeouts. Let me tell you something, folks. That was a great example of how difficult Liriano is to catch. Martin called the slider. He knew it was going to be a slider, and it still almost handcuffed him.
He's got some difficult catchers or pitchers to catch, doesn't he? This is one of them. It's a big pitch right here.
2-2. Piece of it. Fouled it off Martin's glove.
Fans thought it was strike 3, but that was another slider and a better spot that time.
Caught looking, and again Liriano. 3 strikeouts in the inning, and he leaves the bases loaded. 9 strikeouts through 5 innings, and the Blue Jays lead it 2-0. Liriano would be a terrific addition to this ball club, and boy, was he on the money.
Another great arm that you can throw in there, and he's left-handed. Outstanding stuff. This is going to be strikeout number 9 as Davis backs away from that one, and the high strike is called. It comes at a great time. Bases loaded and 2 outs. His 9th strikeout through 5 innings.
The season high for Liriano is 13. He had 13 strikeouts in Pittsburgh against the Brewers on July 21st. He's also had 2 10-strikeout games, so this is the 4th highest strikeout total for Liriano this season. Ryan Goins, the number 9 hitter, leads things off for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 5th. Chris Tillman, 2 runs on 5 hits. A couple of sacrifice flies have produced the only runs the Blue Jays have scored tonight. The only runs of the ball game.
You know, he doesn't have his best stuff, but I'll tell you what, he is competing tonight against the Blue Jays. He's only given up those 2 runs on 5 hits. He's pitched out of trouble a lot. This is his 2nd strikeout of the night. A lot of off-speed pitches. Curveball this time to Goins. He's thrown some changeups. He's really tried to take the sting out of the bat of the Blue Jays by offering up a lot of off-speed pitches.
Ezekiel Carrera has been on base twice. He reached on an error and then went first to third on an error by the pitcher Tillman and came home to score on the sac fly by Encarnacion. And then in the third he singled to center and was thrown out trying to steal. Blue Jays have 4 games remaining on their schedule, and they are certainly peaking at the right time. High cutter. Bautista and Tulowitzki have had big clutch hits in the month of September. Russell Martin has 74 RBIs. There's a strike. Carrera filling in for Devin Travis has had 2 big games leading off.
You know, we were talking the other day. It seems like when this team gets down, they just stay together.
Another hit for Carrera.
The all-new 2017 Ridgeline, our newest vehicle and their newest fan. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Ezekiel Carrera has had 4 plate appearances in the last 2 games. He's been on base. Excuse me. He's had 7 plate appearances in the last 2 games, and he's been on base 5 times. He has been on base 6 times. Reached base 3 times tonight. Josh Donaldson doubled down the right field line back in the 3rd.
The only time he didn't get on, he hit a bullet for a double play yesterday.
Donaldson has been remarkably consistent over the last 4 seasons. In his final 2 seasons in Oakland, he played exactly 158 games. Last year, 158 games. This season, this is his 151st game. You put up good numbers by staying on the field.
He talks about that. He talks about the 5 things that make great players: hitting for power, running, throwing, and defense. And he also throws in staying healthy, because you can't do the 5 without staying healthy and being in there. So going out there every day is another one of the qualities, according to Josh, of being a great player, and he's fulfilled that.
On the ground, Hardy quickly to second for 1, back to first, not in time. Hardy had to come after that ground ball, and he threw quickly to Scope, but Donaldson beat it out at first.
They've turned 159 double plays coming into this game. They've already turned 1 for 160. Scope's got a strong arm, but he can't finish it off. The ball just wasn't hit hard enough by Donaldson.
Donaldson may have re-aggravated that hip problem. He has taken some time down there at first, and he really legged it out to stay out of that double play. Two outs for Encarnacion. Edwin with the sac fly in the first.
Well, he knows how important staying out of double plays is. You can see he's hightailing it down to first base. He might have felt something there. You can see just from that reaction. Just the body language.
It's a long season. You play every day, and you're going to get banged up. And Josh will tell you, his teammates will say the same. Hey, everybody's beat up this time of the year. Ball and a strike to Encarnacion. Edwin's had a terrific season, staying on the field, playing every day. Edwin, with the sacrifice fly in the first, has now driven in 127 runs for the season. That leads the American League, just 2 behind Roland Arenado of the Colorado Rockies for the major league lead.
He needs one more long one, one more home run to set a career high in home runs for a season.
Turns on that one and hits it into the seats. 42 home runs for Encarnacion. And he has been a terrific run producer. He and the first baseman of the Orioles, first and second in home runs since 2012. Davis has 197 home runs and kind of shown 193. Outside, no swing according to Angel Hernandez. So it's a full count with Donaldson at first. He'll be moving on the pitch. Chris Davis, the first baseman, will come off the bag, give himself a little more range at first, not holding Donaldson close.
Trying to tell Chris Tillman that he's going to play behind him. There he is. He's got the whole right side of the infield by himself.
With a liner into left, and Raimo comes in, makes a nice sliding catch. He robs Encarnacion of a hit. We have played 5 innings here at Rogers Center, and the Blue Jays maintaining that 2-0 lead. He's got something going on with his lower half. We saw him after he legged it out, and then he goes on the pitch, and when he hits second base, you can see how he pulls up very tentatively and then would have a conversation trying to stretch things out. And looks like that right hip again might be the point of concern for Donaldson. No bones sticking out. He's not coming out of the game.
No.
Short hop to Tulowitzki. Stays with it and throws up Machado. Boy, Tulowitzki, what great hands and great reactions. He flipped it in the air and then stayed right with it with the bare hand.
You know what the best part of that play was the throw to first base. Picks it up in the air, barehanded, and then throws. And Encarnacion didn't even have to move. Right into his chest. Tulo gets in front of that one, and watch Edwin. Right there. What a play.
Made it look easy, didn't he? One away here in the 6th. This is Mark Trumbo. He has struck out twice. Liriano is filling up the strike zone tonight. 55 strikes, just 31 balls, 86 pitches in total. And when you fill up the strike zone, hitters chase borderline pitches.
Talked about that in the opening. Strike one is so important. When you do that, you can expand. You can expand with your slider down and in. You can expand with your changeup down and away to the righties. I mean, there's so many more options when you throw strike one.
And the slider is so hard at 87. Hitters have to start their bat and then don't have much of a chance to gauge whether or not it's going to be a ball or a strike.
And that's when you get all the strikeouts. 9 of them so far.
Changeup missed up and away. You can see Martin looking at Trumbo. And catchers will do that just to make sure they don't flash a sign or set up location while the batter is kind of peeking down at home plate. And keep an eye on Trumbo. Not to indicate Trumbo's doing anything he shouldn't, but that's the catcher's responsibility.
Well, you'll also take a look at those guys to see if they change their toe hold as the game goes, or the at bat goes along. They might start in the back part of the batter's box at the beginning of the at bat, and then he's now 2 strikes. He might get closer to the plate. He might move up. So Russell's always keeping an eye on that hitter.
2-2 pitch to Trumbo. Hit on the ground. Donaldson has it across the diamond in time, 2 away. Well, the Blue Jays could really use 7 innings from Liriano tonight. Joe Biagini, he's probably not available tonight. He threw 2 innings last night, although he only threw 22 pitches. But of course, we don't have to remind you the Blue Jays have lost Joaquin Benoit for the remainder of the season with that torn calf. And now you see Pete Walker and DeMarlo Hale talking about the situation they're in now. Liriano, boy, he saws off the bat of Mancini. That's a quick inning for Liriano. Just 8 pitches, just what the doctor ordered in the 6th. Before the Blue Jays play at night, the Indians and Tigers will play at Comerica in Detroit. It all starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Ryan Merritt goes to the mound for the Indians. He'll be opposed by former Blue Jay Daniel Norris, and that game, of course, has wild card implications as the Tigers are hanging in there. They're still delayed in Detroit with the Indians leading 1-0. They're only in the middle of the 3rd, so that is not an official game, of course. No score in New York, Boston and the Yankees. Of course, the magic number for Boston is 1. Hey, you never know.
Any combination of a win by the Red Sox and a loss by the Blue Jays, and they've got the American League East wrapped up.
Also at stake for the Red Sox home field advantage with the best record in the American League. Currently, the Texas Rangers have 93 wins. They're a game ahead of Boston. who has 192. And we know how important that home field advantage is.
Yeah,
Jose Bautista is 1-for-2.
Blue Jays could have used it last year, but they couldn't come up with the best record in the American League, so they were the visiting team against Kansas City in the ALCS.
Jose Bautista is 0-for-1 with a walk. He struck out and walked tonight. Russell Martin will bat next. Tillman behind 3-1. Bautista walks for a second time. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Of course, a very emotional time for the Miami Marlins, having lost their star pitcher Jose Fernandez Sunday morning, and what an emotional time for both the Mets and the Marlins having to play this series. But now everybody is focused on baseball for the time being. The Mets, the Giants, and the Cardinals, those are the three teams that factor into the National League wild card race. The Mets have a half-game lead over the Giants for the first wild card spot, and then the Cardinals are a game back of San Francisco. They're on the outside looking in as we speak.
And one of those teams, they're going to be gone in by Sunday. One of those teams doesn't make it. There's a really good chance that it could be a three-way tie, and wouldn't that be fun?
St. Louis and Cincinnati playing in St. Louis. Top three, no score in that game. San Francisco at home later on tonight against Colorado. Tyler Chatwood against Jeff Samardzija.
And they're keeping their fingers crossed that Johnny Cueto can go. He's been battling a groin injury for the Giants.
Russell Martin with a 2-1 count. Fouls it back. Now it's 2-2.
Russell's been looking for something off speed. He's got a couple of change-ups from Chris Tillman his first two times up, and he's hit ground balls to the shortstop. He's been looking for something off speed in this at bat.
Two-2 pitch popped up. That's going to be into the seats, out of play. To finish up the picture in the National League wild card race, the Mets will go to Philadelphia and play over the weekend. That's how they'll finish up the regular season. Pittsburgh will be in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals, and the Giants, they got to play the Dodgers.
The Dodgers. They're always finishing up the season, aren't they?
How about that? To open up on Friday, it'll be Rich Hill against Madison Bumgarner. What a way to open up the final series. And Vin Scully will call that game for the Dodgers. That'll be his final series of his career. Full count to Russell Martin. Nobody out. Bautista at first. We're in the bottom of the sixth, and another great game. 2-0 Blue Jays. Bautista not running. Ball 4 to Martin. Back-to-back walks issued by Tillman here in the sixth, and that'll bring the red-hot Troy Tulowitzki to the plate with nobody out.
That could be a key at bat right there by Martin. Working another walk. And you got Tulowitzki and Saunders coming up.
Donnie Hart, the left-hander. Crossfire lefty, and he's done a nice job. He's a little funky. Tough on lefties. It's a 2-0 game. Troy Tulowitzki's already gone 2 for 2 tonight. He doubled down the left field line, then scored in the second, and then he had a hot shot single up the middle. And it bounced over the glove of Jonathan Schoop, went into center. Back-to-back walks issued by Tillman. 3 walks in the ball game. He got a visit from Dave Wallace, the pitching coach. First pitch cutter. He knew Tillman was going to throw something other than a fastball after back-to-back walks.
Because he knew that Tulowitzki was going to be ready to jump on it. Tulo doubled down the left field line his first time up on a breaking ball, and then sent one back through the middle last time.
Oh, 0-2. Tillman's ahead. Both of the runs in this ball game coming in on sacrifice flies. Edwin Encarnacion in the first, Kevin Pillar in the second. And that's been the extent of the scoring so far in this game. Way outside. Mentioned the Orioles will travel from Toronto to New York to finish up their season, a 3-game series against the Yankees. Wow. Nice play by Wieters, and Bautista has to dive back in. Wieters backhanded it, made a good strong throw, but it was off target at second.
The Gold Glover behind the plate, Matt Wieters. He's going to be a free agent this winter, and he's showing you why he's a Gold Glover. That ball way outside. He picks it like a first baseman. Sees Jose Bautista at second base getting a little bit too far. That thing goes to the backstop at second and third. Jose is out there. He sees it. He's anticipating the ball back to the backstop. He has to scamper back.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Tulowitzki. Little looper into left. Raimo with a long run, and he makes a running catch, and Bautista is going to be doubled off. Jose gambling that that ball was going to drop. Raimo, his second sliding catch in left field. He had a similar catch off Encarnacion's bat to end the 5th. And now with that double play, Buck Showalter has popped out of the dugout.
This one looked like it was going to drop in there, but Raimo full extension and then an easy double play. Bautista gambled that that was going to fall, but with nobody out, you got to just play it 1 base at a time. And he's doubled off, and a pitching change.
So Raimo with a couple of good defensive plays. Tillman is out of the game. Left-hander Donnie Hart coming in to face Michael Saunders when we come back. The Blue Jays with a 2-0 lead. to the ball game is Donnie Hart. He made his major league debut on July 17th at Tampa Bay and struck out Kevin Kiermaier for his first major league strikeout. And he can rack up some strikeouts against left-handed hitters.
Well, take a look at the left-handers. They haven't had a lot of luck. Just a 143 batting average against Donnie Hart because he throws sidearm. He's got that two-seam sinker with some great running action and some arm side sink, frisbee slider. He's definitely a left-handed pitcher on a left-handed batter type of guy. So he gets Michael Saunders with now 2 outs.
20th appearance of the season for Donnie Hart. Saunders has singled and grounded into a double play. Chris Tillman allowed just 2 runs tonight. Blue Jays have managed just 6 hits against Tillman. He has certainly kept the Orioles within striking distance.
Hey, he didn't have his best stuff. I'll tell you what, he competed tonight against the Blue Jays.
Ball and a strike to Saunders. Michael this season batting .283 against lefty pitching compared to .247 against righties. So he has hung tough against him. He goes the other way more often than not against the lefties. Big sweeper outside. Lefty Brett Cecil loosening up for the Blue Jays. What a start for Liriano, trying to stay loose on the bench. Been a long inning. Michael Givens, the hard-throwing right-hander, standing by in the Orioles bullpen. Kevin Pillar is on deck, a right-handed bat.
Yes, he's a lefty specialist. They've got 4 lefties in that bullpen, and this is just for Michael Saunders. I think Buck Showalter was trying to force John Gibbons' hand to see what he was going to do here. See if he was going to go to the bench and get Melvin Upton into the game. But he's electing to stick with Michael Saunders versus the left-hander.
Goins is behind Pillar should the inning continue. Now it's a full count with 2 outs. Martin is on the move. Saunders lifts a pop-up left side of the diamond. Machado in fair territory makes the catch. Donnie Hart comes in and gets his man Michael Saunders. We've played 6 here at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays hanging on to a 2-0 lead. It's 3-1, and that rain delay costs the Indians their starter, so the Tigers jump on the bullpen. What a job by the Blue Jays started tonight. No runs on 4 hits through 6 innings, and he's racked up 9 strikeouts on just 92 pitches. Another terrific outing for Liriano.
Another at least 6 innings, 2 runs, 2 earned runs or less. Every one of his starts in September has been like that.
This is his 4th start in the month of September. He's 1-1 with a no decision. Matt Wieters goes after the first pitch and rips it into left field for a single.
Super Slow-Mo Cam. Brought to you by Rogers 4K TV. Get closer to the action with 4 times the resolution of HD alone.
Well, obviously this is a very tight ball game. Blue Jays lead at 2-0, and Pete Walker is checking in with the bullpen. Cecil is ready. There's no question about that. Now the question is, who's the right-hander that's going to get up after Cecil? J.J. Hardy takes the first pitch strike. Hardy is 1 for 2. He's singled in the 5th.
I don't think any right-hander is going to get up. They got 3 righties coming up in Hardy, Scope, Reimel, and then Jones 4. So they might let Liriano face all of them, or they might bring in Cecil. This is that danger zone again in the 7th inning with no Joaquin Benoit. John Gibbons said, I've got to either stretch my starter out just a little bit further, or I might use 2 guys to get through that 7th inning.
He did suggest that Grilli and Osuna are available tonight, and he will use them if needed. Liriano ahead of J.J. Hardy. A ball and 2 strikes. Now it's 2-2. Liriano threw just 8 pitches last inning. He's up to 97 for the ball game. Changeup missed away. 3-2. Jonathan Scope waits on deck. Scope walked in the 5th. Big pitch here. And Hardy gets a piece of it to stay alive.
He has shown confidence all night long on 3-2 sliders or 3-2 changeups. He threw a pretty good slider there, and it was spoiled. Looking for the grounder.
How about a strikeout? 10 strikeouts now for Liriano, the 4th time this season. He's recorded double-digit strikeouts.
He did it his first game of the season against St. Louis, came back and got St. Louis again in May. He had a 13 strikeout game in July versus Milwaukee, and now tonight he has recorded 10 Oriole batters striking out.
100 pitches for Liriano. Jonathan Scope. This is where the manager leans over to the pitching coach and says, how many pitches does he have? The pitching coach says, not enough.
Oh, my counter broke.
Yeah, my counter's shut down for the night. Just inside. If you were to rely on the eye test, it suggests there's nothing wrong with Liriano.
His fastball still hitting 94. And yeah, the guys down on the bench there, they'll glance up there and take a look at that velo to see how hard he's throwing. They'll also ask the catcher, hey, how's his breaking ball? How's his slider? How's his fastball? Every time Russell Martin comes in there, plus you'll take a look. His changeup is still really good, and his slider's still really good.
The problem we have in a game like this is Jonathan Scope has 24 home runs, and he's hitting 8. Ground ball, base hit. That high breaking ball. Scope pulled it through the left side. John Gibbons is already out of the dugout. He's got Brett Cecil standing by, and there's the call to the bullpen. So Liriano, what a start for him. A 10 strikeout performance as he pitches into the 7th, 6 and a third. Another terrific start for the Blue Jays rotation.
Boy, just what they needed right there from their starter.
Brett Cecil to Nolan Reimel, misses with the first pitch curveball. Reimel 0 for 2. Cecil making his 52nd appearance of the season.
Brett last worked a couple of days ago against the Yankees through just 1/3 of an inning. Been throwing the ball better. Breaking ball's been a little bit sharper. Trying to strand those runners for Francisco Liriano.
What an outing for Liriano. 10 strikeouts in 6 in the 3rd. He allows 6 singles. Reimel into the seats down the right side. 1-2. Reimel has had success against Cecil. He's 5 for 16, a .313 average. Blue Jays have yet to turn a double play, and I think it's a pretty good time for one.
This is a pretty good time for it.
What a strikeout. Cecil gets Reimel 2 away in the inning.
Threw him some soft stuff early in that at bat. And then right when Reimel was looking for an off-speed pitch, they change up on him and throw him a fastball. And they throw it by him. Looked like the ball might have been tipped by Reimel, held onto by Russell Martin. Brett Cecil with a big strikeout.
Cecil called Russell Martin out from behind home plate. He wanted to talk about something. Quick short visit, and Russell returns behind the plate. Adam Jones, he's got 2 hits tonight. He's got 2 of the 6 Oriole hits. He's 2 for 3. Ground ball. Tulowitzki will fire on balance right on the money. What a play by Tulowitzki. Brett Cecil comes out of the pen, strikes out a rival, and gets Adam Jones to ground out. Another fine defensive play by the Blue Jays shortstop.
What we see tonight is the great defense. It's been there all season long, and he's going to bail out the Blue Jays once again to his right. And that patented throw on the run right in the middle of the chest of Edwin Encarnacion. Backhand, flip across the diamond and get a fast runner. Strands those two runners on base, and Troy Tulowitzki, again, marvelous with the glove tonight.
He made a great play in support of Brett Cecil. Cecil got a big strikeout of Rimal for the second out of the inning, and then Tulowitzki delivers a terrific play to end the inning. Kevin Pillar, he has an RBI tonight. He and Encarnacion both have sacrifice flies. That's been the entire production tonight. 2-0 Blue Jays. Justin Smoke has grabbed a bat. He's come out on deck. Brian Goins was the scheduled batter. Donnie Hart facing his second hitter. He came into the game and closed out the sixth, getting Saunders to pop out.
Well, you got Goins scheduled, then you got Carrera, another left-hander behind him, and Buck Showalter might be saving Michael Givens for the meat of the order. Again, we saw that last series when the Yankees were here.
Barr hits it on the ground. Machado to his left. One away. So John Givens will make the first move. He'll send up the pinch hitter Justin Smoke. The switch hitter will bat for Ryan Goins. No move yet from the Orioles. Smoke batting .221 for the season. As a pinch hitter, he is 3 for 12 with an RBI. He goes after the first pitch, and it's a high fly into shallow right. 2 away. Well, I tell you what, it's 2-0. Obviously, both of these teams fighting for a wild card berth, and you can feel the tension in the air on every pitch.
Well, you think it's tension filled now. Wait till next inning. You're going to be facing a home run hitter in Davis and Machado and Trumbo. I mean, lots going on, and it's the 8th inning.
Ezekiel Carrera takes the ball. Jason Grilli loosening up. John Gibbons said before the game he would stay the course. Grilli in the 8th, Osuna in the 9th.
But you got Davis leading off. We might see Brett Cecil face him to lead off the inning.
Carrera bunts right through it. It's a ball and a strike to Carrera. He's had another good night at the plate. Been on base 3 times. His first plate appearance, that could have been scored a base hit. There was a little swinging bunt up the first base line. Chris Tillman shoveled it very quickly to Chris Davis at first, who was charged with an error.
Yeah, he was handcuffed on that throw. That's what speed will do to you. I mean, it puts everybody on their toes on the defense.
Two balls and a strike. That's 3-1. We talk about just how good the Blue Jays pitching has been lately. Again tonight, the starter allowing 1 earned run or less in an outing. That's 7 straight games now. The Blue Jays starters have allowed 1 earned run or less. Full count.
Might have been ball 4. You see Zeke shaking his head. He wants to get on base for him. Josh has had a good night.
Full count. Donaldson 1 for 3. He hit a double in the 3rd. That's what September baseball will do to a manager.
Scratching your head.
Okay. Carrera strikes out. Donnie Hart retires all 4 batters he's faced so far in this game. We'll go to the 8th. A 2-0 ball game. Brett Cecil back out to start the 8th. Liriano, look at that line. He threw 104 pitches. He threw 67 strikes out of those 104 pitches. He goes 6 1/3. That was just 6 hits, all singles. Did not allow an earned run. Walked just 1 and struck out 10. 4th time this season he's recorded double-digit strikeouts.
And he's dropped his ERA to 2.92.
With the Blue Jays. Darwin Barney takes over defensively at second base. Ryan Goins, the starter, was lifted for the pinch hitter. We have talked about Cecil turning his game over to the catchers, and it seemed to have helped him. Ball and a strike to Chris Davis, and there's a fastball that misses down and away.
Well, he's got to get Davis. He's done it in the past. Chris is just 3 for 22 in his career versus Brett Cecil.
That's a 136 average.
Got to get him because there's some right-handed power coming up.
Well, that's a pretty good breaking ball. He didn't get the call. It's now 3-1, and there's the first of the right-handed power. That's Manny Machado. This is a dangerous team. Trumbo will follow Machado. Cecil now with a full count.
Davis has hit 35 home runs in his career versus the Blue Jays, so he knows all about the Jays pitching staff.
Oh, what a pitch. A 3-2 curveball in a 2-0 game. A terrific pitch by Cecil, and that's going to be his last pitch as John Gibbons has popped out of the dugout. He's got Jason Grilli ready. Oh, good outing by Cecil. He goes an inning and strikes out 2. And he gets Chris Davis on a 3-2 curveball.
Faced 3 batters, got a couple of punch outs and a handshake from his manager.
Jason Grilli into the game to face Manny Machado and Mark Trumbo. As we are in the 8th inning, Jason Grilli coming on with 1 out. This will be his 66th appearance of the season.
There are the combined numbers, 7-6 with a 390 earned run average. He's had 80 strikeouts in those 65 games. And this is the beauty of baseball right here. Last time out, Jason had a rough 1/3 of an inning against the Yankees, right back out on the horse. Gets a chance to fire up the Grilli just 2 days later.
Manny Machado, the Orioles shortstop. He is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Ground ball on the first pitch. Tulowitzki is there. 1 pitch. 1 out for Grilli. 2 outs in the inning.
You know he's been around for a long time. He's now got his 10 years in the big leagues, parts of 14 seasons in the big leagues, and he's not going to let what happened to him last time affect him what he does tonight. He can turn the page, as they say.
Mark Trumbo. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. First pitch breaking ball. Trumbo is 0 for 6 against Jason Grilling. High and deep to left. This ball is going to go. And Trumbo hits the home run, his 46th of the season. His first home run this year against the Blue Jays.
They have really contained big Mark Trumbo until that one. He can strike at any time. He can hit the ball out of any part of the ballpark. And that's a second decker. 23 of his 46 home runs have gone to left field. One more time, elevated fastball. And Trumbo connects down the left field line.
It's a 2-1 Blue Jays lead. Pedro Alvarez is pinch hitting for Trey Mancini. Mark Trumbo had not homered against the Blue Jays until that at bat. He has now a 4 home run lead over Dozier and Encarnacion. Nelson Cruz of the Mariners and Chris Davis, they've all hit 40. Mancini finished up the game 0 for 3. Alvarez played in last night's game and went 0 for 3 himself. He walked and struck out twice. Breaking ball, 2-1. Line drive into center. Pilar's not going to get this one. It's up against the wall. Alvarez will get to second with a stand-up double, a 2-out double. Pete Walker's on the phone to the bullpen.
Fastball one more time. On the inner half, he's able to keep his hands between him. He doesn't roll over that ball. He stays right through it. It's got plenty of power. This time slicing the ball away from Pilar. Pilar was playing him to pull. No chance to get that. Another extra base hit for Alvarez.
So Alvarez is lifted from the game in favor of the pinch runner. Drew Stubbs will take over at second. He represents the tying run here in the 8th. So Matt Wieters, he was 1 for 3 against Liriano. He'll bat left-handed for the first time tonight.
And he's much stronger batting left-handed. He's got 13 of his 15 home runs have come as a left-handed batter this year.
Ryan Tepera beginning to loosen up in the Blue Jays bullpen. Two and 0.
Wieters is 1 for 2 in his career versus Jason. That one hit was a home run. Keep the ball down.
Breaking ball. Wieters fouls it back. It's 2 balls and a strike on the Orioles catcher.
You know he's going to use all of his experience in reading bats, understanding what major league hitters are going to try and do to you to get him out. Fastball count, he threw him a breaking ball.
Fastball's down and away. It's 3-1. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, waits on deck. Grilly's got a base to work with. First base is open. Fly ball to left. Carrera is there. Grilly gets out of it. The Orioles get a home run from Mark Trumbo, but the Blue Jays will go to the bottom of the 8th with a 2-1 lead. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Excitement. Well, how about not missing Game 2 of the World Cup of Hockey final? It's Canada and Europe tomorrow night on CBC and Sportsnet 360 at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. Over to Buck and Pat.
Thank you very much, Hazel. Michael Gibbons is into the ball game. He has 8 wins in relief. That's the 3rd most relief wins in the American League. He's 8-2, and this will be his 65th appearance.
Check out the strikeouts, 95 of them in 64 games. He had a 2-inning outing in Sunday. That was a scoreless inning. Struck out 4 batters of the 7 that he faced. That's 8 straight scoreless outings for Michael Gibbons. He's got a good fastball and a hard slider. He's allowed just 3 hits over 8 innings with 12 strikeouts over that 8 scoreless innings frames. And there's that riding fastball up and away.
Josh Donaldson 1 for 3 tonight. He doubled in the 3rd, was stranded at 3rd base. Blue Jays certainly could use some runs. They've been out hit 8-6, but they have a 2-1 lead. That hit Donaldson, and he'll go to first. Gibbons obviously not wanting to hit Donaldson to start the inning. Gibbons, that's the 5th batter he has hit this season. It's that running fastball.
Flips him right on that elbow once again. Thank goodness he's got that elbow pad.
Donaldson hits for the 9th time. He reaches base to start the bottom of the 8th. Edwin Encarnacion is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. He lined out in the 5th. Nolan Rimo made a nice sliding catch to end the inning. Josh Donaldson is 7 for 8 in stolen bases this season. For his career, he's had 30 stolen bases and caught just 4 times. He really has a knack for picking his spots very carefully. He doesn't have a lead now.
Well, remember we showed that shot of him coming around the back like his leg might be giving him some problems again tonight. Plus you've got the heart of the order coming up, some home run hitters. Givens is pretty quick to the plate. He delivers a pretty quick fastball. But he is trying to time him up over there at first base. He's trying to get a walking lead on him, so his momentum is getting to second base.
Popped up down the right side. Chris Davis, the first baseman, will run out of room. Roberto Osuna loosening up for the Blue Jays. Osuna pitched in the game last night. Gave up a couple of hits through just 11 pitches in a non-save situation. Carnacion drills it to right, but Trumbo is right there.
Swing for the fences and save during the DIY Expert Sale. Only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center.
Two-1 Blue Jays lead it. Jose Bautista has walked twice and struck out. Jose is 0 for 4 against Givens. He thought that breaking ball was inside off the plate.
So he's going to back out there and regroup just a little bit. We mentioned he's got those 95 strikeouts. His fastball slider. He's a converted position player, and he has really come into his own this year, Michael Givens.
0-2. We mentioned Givens with 8 wins in relief. He has come in when the Orioles are behind. He's put up some zeros, and the Orioles have rewarded him. Way outside, 1-2.
Look, Showalter was talking about him the other day, saying that he's gaining the experience that when he's a little bit out of whack, he understands his release and his body a little bit better, that he can coach himself now and get him back into the strike zone.
Bautista called out on strikes, and now he's going to talk it over with Lance Barksdale. That looked like a slider that backed up. It meant to break, and it didn't. Looked like it might have been off the plate inside. So 2 away now. Russell Martin, the catcher. And Martin gets hit.
You know, I think this is what the Blue Jays get upset about, is their hitters. And I understand that they're going to try and pitch them inside, but they've been taking so many shots this year, getting hit. Donaldson one more time, and now Martin again.
Russell's been hit 10 times this year.
And that doesn't feel good. That hurts.
Intentional or not, it hurts.
Gets underneath that four-seam fastball and rides it up again and hits him right in the tricep. You see Lance Barksdale come right out. the home plate umpire. Well, you know how you can really make it hurt? By getting a base hit here.
Tulowitzki, he is 2 for 3. Tulowitzki has faced Givens just twice. He's 0 for 2. Some big runs on base for the Blue Jays. They have a 1-run lead. Outside at 97. John Givens looking at the Orioles lineup. Bottom third of the lineup due up for the Orioles in the top of the 9th. Hardy, Scope, and Reimold. Three and 0. You let him hit here?
Absolutely, I let him hit here. And if he can time up one of those fastballs, let's see if you can do some serious damage.
Looks like he was taking, and he takes a strike. Brian Dunsing, one of the 4 left-handers the Orioles have. Donnie Hart has already come into this game. Tulowitzki walks. That'll load the bases. 2 hit batters and a walk by Givens here in the 8th. Buck Showalter has already made the call to the bullpen. He will bring in Brian Dunsing, the left-hander, into this game. There are 2 outs and the bases are loaded. Michael Givens hits 2 batters and walks Tulowitzki. Dunsing, the lefty, coming in. Michael Saunders will be lifted for a pinch hitter. Melvin Upton Jr. will come off the bench. Jays baseball partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Roger. Blue Jays baseball partnership. Troy Tulowitzki's had a big game with the bat and with the glove. He made a terrific play to end the 7th inning. Now Brian Dunsing, he'll be the second lefty to appear for the Orioles in this game, making just his 13th appearance.
Because he had his contract selected from Norfolk, that's their AAA team, at the beginning of June, then went on the disabled list at the beginning of July, the 60-day disabled list, reinstated at the beginning of September, so just his 12th game. The left-hander doesn't throw hard, a little cutter and a little sinker.
Josh Donaldson was hit by a pitch. He's at third. Russell Martin was hit by a pitch with 2 outs, and then Tulowitzki walked. The bases are loaded for the pinch hitter, Melvin Upton Jr. Was after the first pitch. Melvin is 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter with the Blue Jays. He has an RBI. Well, you talk about needing a timely hit.
Anywhere. Broken bat, Texas leaguer, infield hit, laser, anything right now. The Blue Jays could use some insurance.
Well, Waiters, after the second strike, goes to the mound quickly. You talk about this next pitch. They might not give a sign here with the catcher Russell Martin at second, just in case.
Those catchers are smart. So Wieters is going to go out there and verbally tell Dunsing what he wants.
Oh, and 2. Upstairs, Wieters nodding in agreement. Yeah, that's where I wanted it. High fastball. Michael Givens hit 2 batters and walked Tulowitzki to load the bases. There are 2 outs. Boy, that was a delayed call. Oh my, Lance Barksdale took an extra beat to think about it and calls out Melvin Upton Jr. And he said, man, that was down, but Barksdale created problems for himself by taking so long to call strike 3. And Givens is going to give it to him as well. But the Blue Jays leave the bases loaded as we head to the 9th. Another look at call strike 3. Not so much where the pitch is, but how long it took the umpire to call it. The game brought to you by Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays, proud fan since 1977.
In last night's ball game, Troy Tulowitzki hit doubles in his last 2 at-bats of that game. First one in this one tonight. He's going to hit another double. This one down the left field line. Troy would eventually find his way around the bases and score on a sacrifice fly by Kevin Pillar. That right now is the difference in the ball game. It's also our drive of the game.
Roberto Osuna into the ball game looking for his 36th save of the season. He'll work to the bottom third of the Orioles lineup. J.J. Hardy, Jonathan Scope, and Nolan Reimel, the scheduled batters. Downstairs at 96. Osuna, I mentioned he pitched in the game last night, threw 11 pitches, gave up a couple of hits. Back-to-back singles to Wieters and Michael Bourne.
John Gibbons was asked about that today, and he said even good pitchers give up hits. What do you want them to be perfect? He also said we're at the end of the year. Guys are tired. Roberto's an aggressive pitcher, and the guys on the Orioles are aggressive swingers.
Osuna is 2 for 2 in save opportunities against the Orioles. Breaking ball pulled foul by Hardy. So you wanted some meaningful games in September. This is as intense as it gets. A 2-1 game. Top of the 9th. The Blue Jays have a 2-game lead over Baltimore in the top spot in the wild card berth.
Wow.
Strike 3 call. Fastball got Hardy. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osman. Thank you very much, Ivanka. That's all coming up right after this ball game. Jonathan Schoop, the batter. He goes after the first pitch. Schoop singled against Liriano in the 7th. That knocked Liriano out of the game with just 1 out. Brett Cecil would come in and strike out Reimold and get Adam Jones to ground out to end the 7th.
Home run hitter at the plate, and he's a free swinger. Jonathan Schoop's got 24 home runs.
Russell Martin staying away from Schoop's power.
And again, he doesn't walk a lot. He has a walk in this game. It's just his 20th walk of the season. This is Schoop's 600th at bat of the year. So be careful.
Base hit to right. Schoop's aboard. He represents the tying run. Second hit of the night. Schoop is 2 for 3 with a walk. So now there will be a pinch runner at first. Michael Bourne will take over for Schoop at first.
Looks like he went slider away to try and get him to hit it off the end of the bat. There's the spin. But Schoop stays on it long enough to drive it into right field.
Bourne started in left field in last night's game. Osuna will work to a pinch hitter. Hyun-Soo Kim coming off the bench. First pitch strike. Kim batting .302 for the season. Changeup upstairs.
This guy stays on the ball. He's struggling in September. 216 batting average, but he stays on the ball. He's got that inside out swing. It's a lot of balls, especially fastballs the other way.
Late on that pitch and lifts a fly ball. Long run for Donaldson, and it's a row out of play into the seats.
Boy, he was determined on that one. If that was anywhere near where Josh Donaldson could have got it, I think he would have given up his body to make that catch. He went a long way for that one.
Osuna's got to give Donaldson a chance to catch his breath. There goes Bourne. Martin's throw to second is not in time. Michael Bourne comes up with a big stolen base, his first for the Orioles.
Extremely tough pitch to throw on for Russell Martin. Blue Jays are going to take a look at this one, but it looked like he was safe. High leg kick, low throw, and Russell does everything he can to make that play. It looked like Darwin got spiked as Bourne came in. No, he hit his knee to knee, and he's going to be safe.
Bourne had 13 stolen bases while playing with Arizona. For his career, that's his 340th stolen base. He's a 3-time stolen base champion in the National League. 2-2 count on the pinch hitter, Hyun-Soo Kim. 8th inning. 1 out. Blue Jays clinging to a 2-1 lead. Popped up, back over the screen and out of play. Every Blue Jay is screaming, stay in here, stay in here. Wanting that pop-up to be in play.
And if you're the infielders, you're saying, give me the ball. I want that ball hit to me.
Blue Jays have to knock it down on the infield. Well, Kim can put the bat on the ball.
Yeah, you can see he stays back. He keeps his hands back long enough. Osuna tried to throw him a changeup, but he stayed back long enough and just flipped his bat at the ball to stay alive.
Slider blocked by Martin. It's a full count. Adam Jones is on deck. Jones is 2 for 4 this evening. Osuna and Martin talking over this next pitch. Another nice relaxing night at the ballpark.
Yeah. Not nervous, no tension.
Swinging a drive to right. Bautista backing up. That ball is gone. Young-Soo Kim with his 6th home run of the season has given the Orioles the lead here in the 9th.
Well, that was totally unexpected. Not a big power hitter. He's a guy who just slashes the ball the other way. Tough to strike out, but it was a fastball on the inner half. And that is a big hit for the Orioles. Puts him in the lead.
Home run by Trumbo in the 8th, and a 2-run home run by Kim here as a pinch hitter in the 9th.
And that'll get Zach Britton up, I'm sure. The closer for the Orioles.
Jones takes the first pitch strike. Another look at the swing by Kim.
Had trouble with the ball away, and it looked like Russell Martin was set up away, but it was a fastball that came back over the middle in the inside part of the plate, right into the swing that Kim had. Watch it. Martin sets up outside. It's inside, and he just turns on it.
Right in his wheelhouse, and he's able to hook it into the Orioles bullpen. Just the 2nd pinch hit home run by the Orioles this season. 0-2. Broken bat. Donaldson charging hard from third. Bare hands and not in time. Jones has his 3rd hit of the night.
And his 2nd infield hit to third base. He had another broken bat roller up the third base line. That was back in the 5th inning that he legged out for a hit. You got to play deep with 2 strikes. Slider off the end of the bat. Sounds like he broke his bat, but Jones has too much speed. Really not much that Donaldson can do is just come up barehanded and fire across the diamond and hope.
Jones 3 for 5, and he was robbed of a base hit in the 7th by Troy Tulowitzki. Chris Davis cuts on the first pitch. Ryan Tepera loosening up for the Blue Jays. The pinch hitter Young-Soo Kim with a 2-run home run. He's 6 for 9 as a pinch hitter this season. Hot shot. Barney goes to Donaldson, back to first. Double play. Nice turn by Donaldson at second. Barney started it, but Roberto Osuna gives up a 2-run home run to Hyun-Soo Kim. Zach Britton is 46 for 46 in save opportunities this season. And the Red Sox got another great start from Clay Buchholz. 6 innings, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts. And here is Zach Britton. We mentioned he's 46 for 46.
Yeah, those numbers are real. 64 in the 3rd innings. They're hitting 161 and 157. Tough to get the ball in the air against Zach Britton.
Brian Flaherty takes over defensively at second as Schoop was taken out of the game for the pinch runner. Hyun-Soo Kim, the pinch hitter, is in left. Michael Bourne, the pinch runner, is in right. Trumbo's out of the game. Kevin Pillar to start things off. Takes the first pitch strike. We mentioned Britton is 46 for 46. There have only been 4 pitchers that have had perfect seasons in seasons in which they've had 30 or more saves. Britton this year, Gagne in 2003. Here's the pitch to Pillar. Gagne won the Cy Young in 2003. He was 55 for 55 for the Dodgers. Brad Lidge of the Phillies in 2008 went 41 for 41. And most recently, Jose Valverde was 49 for 49 in 2011. Pillar gets a piece of that sinker.
He's done it basically with that one pitch. And it is a 1-finger sinker where he's got that index finger on it. He learned that trying to throw a cutter when he was down in minor leagues, and it ended up sinking. And now it's like Mariano Rivera with the cutter. His sinker has been a great pitch for him this year.
Pillar strikes out, 1 away. We talk about the season that Britton has had, and he's going to be on a lot of people's ballots for the Cy Young Award. And when you look at the rare breed of closers, 40+ saves with an ERA under 1. There's only been 3.
Eckersley in 90, 48 for 50 with an ERA of 0.61. He didn't walk anybody just like Zach Britton. Fernando Rodney did it in 2012 when he was 48 for 50. Britton is perfect in saves. this year. He hasn't blown one.
Darwin Barney gets his first plate appearance. Barney took over defensively at second. Britton has held opponents to a 160 average. He's only allowed 1 home run this season.
You can see why. Tough to get that ball in the air when you've got that thing sinking like that. He was in the All-Star game this year, and he earned the save for the American League.
Two and one. Barney swings and misses. It's now 2-2. The only home run Britton has surrendered was to Mookie Betts way back on the 11th of April. Gianna Navarro has grabbed the bat. He's come out on deck. Full count. .96 for the strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Britton here in the ninth.
On top of it being hard, like you said, 96 miles an hour, on top of it moving a lot, he throws it in almost an unhittable spot. And that ball moving straight down.
So the veteran Gianna Navarro will come off the bench, trying to keep the Blue Jays' hopes alive here in the ninth. They trail 3-2. Navarro 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter for the Blue Jays. First pitch upstairs. Navarro hits it in the air, but that's going to slice into the seats out of play. The Orioles have struck out the last 3 Blue Jays batters. Melvin Upton Jr. was called out on strikes to end the 8th. Pilar and Barney strike out here against Britton in the 9th. Ground ball. Flaherty at second. That's the ball game. Zach Britton is 47 for 47. And the Orioles have evened the series at a game apiece. Tough loss for the Blue Jays. They gave up a run in the 8th and 2 in the 9th. Hyun-Soo Kim with his 6th pinch hit of the season. It's a 2-run home run. That's the difference in the ball game.
Second tough loss for the Blue Jays this week. They're going to have to regroup once again. Can win the series tomorrow, and they're going to need it because this one's going to go down to the wire. Just 4 games left in the season.
The Blue Jays still have a game lead over the Orioles for the top spot in the wild card berth. Game 3 tomorrow, final home game of the season. Stay tuned. Here's Sportsnet Central. Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmak.